Today, kind of get into a personal situation that just occurred yesterday. Yesterday, my son um, has made the choice. Well, I mean, it wasn't yesterday, but he's made the choice of leaving the household a few months ago and started gangbanging. I mean, obviously, he's known these people for a while because it is a secret. Like, he does not come home. He does not share any information of what he's doing and where he's at. But yesterday he got locked up on a drive-by kidnapping, stolen vehicles, stolen gun, eluding, obstruction. Uh, for anybody that does know me or has been following me has known that I'm really big about my kids, man. And let me tell you how it affected my son. I believe because he was born while I was in prison. I was making a lot of mistakes and doing a lot of stuff, and he was born while I was in prison. And I get out, and the day I get out, I get full custody of him. You know, his mother abandoned him. His mother used to abuse him. His mother did all kinds of crazy stuff, man. And so as I get out, I still had that convict like mentality. I still had that machismo. Even though I was fresh out of prison, I still had to be aware, and I still kind of am. You know, still got that PTSD from prison, but now he's sees that, and I guess he fed off of that, and he's now locked up. He's did a drive by. I heard about the shootings out in the area, and it was just like, man, I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, a little bit early. Thank you, no, no. But yeah, my son. Okay, so my son says he's looked up to me ever since he's a kid. So now he's looking at a shitload of time, and for anybody that knows me, I've done everything. I've reached out to Flacco. I've reached out to all these different people that had been through it, and maybe he wasn't listening to me. Maybe he was listening to somebody else. He's made some really, really horrible choices now, and now he's going to be paying a lot of time, man. I don't think I'll see the day when. Yeah, thank you, man. It's. I don't think I'm going to see the day when he gets out. I mean, it's a lot of shit that he's done in the past, or the past couple days. That robbery, drive-by, kidnapping. Just all of it. I know it's really serious, man, and I know Washington State doesn't play when it comes to these type of crimes. You know, I spent all day yesterday crying, crying. It was, man, it really messed with the sobriety. Like, I really, really wanted to go out and drink, but I didn't. I kept everything cool, man. And the difference between my story and his, I know his is pretty tragic too. So it's weird. It's to the point where he had a father. He has a father. You know, that just didn't. Well, I don't think he caught a body. I think he just. I don't know. That I'm not getting. It doesn't get into it. It just shows his arrest records. Shows what he's in jail for. And I was trying to go on the StreamYard to do that because I'd definitely love to have Rascal's input on there, man. It's I because I yeah, that was my first thought was Rascal was like, man, if I can reach out to him or get even start a live with him and get some like knowledge, or if you can just call me or whatever. But I don't know how the California and the Washington State cases are, but it's yeah, it's crazy. So I hope he didn't catch a body. He was texting. It's weird. He's got like a tablet in there or something because he was texting. It costs like $20 for like 500 messages, and right away he's pulling on the heartstrings. Like, hey, Dad, I need help, and I need to. Can you reach out to my friends? It's like, no, dude, those are your friends. If you're gonna communicate, it's between me and you, not me and you and your friends that you were trying to impress. Now look, now they're not sending you. They're not going to send you money. They're not going to, get you a lawyer. They're not going to, just all this stuff. And he's looking at a grip of time because I know kidnapping's no joke, man. I don't know the story behind it, but I'm definitely going to his preliminary hearing and see what his charges are tomorrow. And it's crazy to have, what my I guess this is what I put my parents through. You know what I mean? It's kind of payback or something. I don't know. It's because I know I wasn't the best of person when I was his age, and I was already committing crimes. But he's got a lot of issues going on, and like I said, I had Flacco talk to him, and you seen Flacco's friend dedicate an episode to him when he was fighting fentanyl, and he was just I don't know, man. He's just I'm just here at the restaurant. There's certain stuff that he touched that I just leave alone. I just not ready to move, or you know what I mean, because he was here for a little bit, and I just got to deal with his case, and I'm not going to disown him or anything. I just need the understanding of why. Like, why would you commit crimes like this of drive-bys and stolen guns and all this stuff when, you have a dad that's been through it, man? Appreciate it, Italiano. Appreciate No. Appreciate you, 7 you guys tapping in. And it's crazy. Like, it is really, really crazy, and I absolutely hate it, man. Um, haven't really slept last night. Instead of turning to alcohol, I reached out for nicotine. I don't even fucking smoke, man. And it's a sad situation to where he's, you guys seen him in the lives, you guys seen him in the uploads, you've seen him when we were in the pictures that I uploaded. He's helped. Man, he was a big help in the business. He helped renovate. He helped cook. I taught him how to cook on here. I mean, he was doing moves, and I was super proud of him, man. It's just it wasn't enough for him to feel that type of respect or to know what it is. Like I said, the signs might have. I think they were there, and you get blinded by love. Like, no, not my son, not my kid. But did take him in for counseling. I did take him for rehab. He just recently got out of rehab, and then, it's just they say first felony, but man, he's got him stacked. Like, he's got him really, really stacked, and it's sad, man. And I just wanted to get away from the house. It's hard to smile in front of my kids, and you know, yeah, man. Yeah, it's just it's uh it's hard to smile. Like, I have to, because I have to be at the restaurant, and I have to smile at people. And I did some really shitty cooking yesterday. You know what I mean? I just had this weird feeling that something just wasn't right. Like, I don't know if you guys ever experienced that, but just something wasn't sitting right with me, and it was weird. I was just sitting there. I was like worried, depressed, anxious, and it was just like earlier before I came to the restaurant. I thought it was just like my urges to go drink, and I went into a place to go get supplies for the restaurant, just quick supplies, and and I was looking at this bottle, and I was like, man, I'm gonna drink that right before I head to work, and just drink it all in one drink, and my wife won't stop me. But I didn't. I was just like, all right. And I get here and I'm cooking and I'm just like, I knew I was like half-assing it. I wasn't coming. I just wasn't happy. And, you know, I look at the text messages and I notice he's been offline for like what's up, Monroe? PI. Yeah. And he wasn't online for like 16 hours, and he's like a kid that he's always on like TikTok. He's always on these different platforms, and and he wasn't on for like 16 hours. And I was like, man, just something ain't right, man. And then I look up the inmate thing, man. Rich DM, what's cracking, bro? And I look it up, and I see he's in jail, and he's in there. Um, he's in there for some really serious, like serious stuff, man. And it's kind of, and as a parent, when you know your kid takes off and everything was so secretive, I just don't want to hear any of the backlash of like, yeah, that's fine, bro. Yeah, I slept in too. I just laid in. It's my date. My restaurant's closed and tomorrow's closed, but I gotta probably open up tomorrow just to hustle up some money. But yeah. So I look up this stuff and I'm just like, man, he's looking like, man, it's not looking good at all. And it's his sister texts me, his cousins are texting me. Thank you, Iron Bear. Yeah, man. He's really made a horrible mistake, man. And it's crazy. Like I said, I think with him, because I've never, man. Thank you, OG, man. I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate that, Triple. But yeah, I think he's made some really horrible choices to where I believe my past stories has affected his life. I wasn't bragging about it. Like I'd tell, kids aren't stupid. I'd tell, maybe I was telling a girlfriend, a couple fights or something stupid, and just, he fed off of that. That's, but he was like doing a lot of like it was just at home with me. He was like a totally different person. And then as soon as he goes to school, he would act up and get sent home. And then as soon as he started going to all these different things, no, I haven't talked to a lawyer yet. I'm about to call, and I haven't called the police. He texts me from a tablet. I guess they get tablets in there or something. It was like $20 for like 500 messages. So I signed up. He's texting me, telling me that he's gonna do a couple of years. I'm like, man, dude, that's a lot of. You're looking at a lot of time for kidnapping alone, the drive-by, the stolen car, the stolen gun. I believe that my past stories or something. All right, man. You take care, OG. Yeah, he's really, man. Yeah, I did. I actually stopped off at a couple places in Yakima and spoke to a couple of the active dudes out there, and told him I don't have nothing to do with this, like, because I know him being a Sereno, I know who he went after. And I'm open season, man. As you guys know, restaurants right here. Not too many people know where we live. And I kind of kept it that way because the last location, my son caused a lot of drama, man. Yeah. No, this is just what he's charged with. Yeah, allegedly. And, I'm just expressing what his choices, and it's crazy, man. And like I said, I'm here at the restaurant. I'm alone. It's just a time to be alone. The kids are all happy. The kids are all running around having their day off of school. I just wanted to affect their mood and, you know, They used to wrestling, playing. You guys see me with my kids. On my days off, even with my son that got in trouble, man. He was just so distant, so secretive. He just, oh man, it's bad. But the thing I was getting into was, the backlash of, oh, where were the parents, man? What were the parents doing? I'm here at the restaurant. Door was open. My heart's open. Those are the little comments that are going to be said once it hits the newspapers and stuff. Like, oh, that's because it is horrible, man. Shooting up, that's cowardly. Shooting up somebody's house or whoever he was, doing a drive-by on. That's really, really, it's bad, man. I don't condone any of that. I don't appreciate the harm that he's going to put me in. And like I said, I'm open season. I'm over here at the restaurant, and if they want any get back to affect him, they probably, who's the one that they're going to come get, you know. And it's his selfish choices that, everything that I made. I was out of country, man. I'm from Canada. I was in Colorado. I knew the repercussions of my lifestyle, and with everything that fell in place. But man, I'm really, really heartbroken, man. This is really horrible. This is just, it's like a nightmare. Just like all my emotions, the rawness of it. It's like, man, I'm expecting. As I went home, I was in the backyard and I seen a pack of his empty cigarettes right there, and like I said, I just didn't want to touch it. I didn't want to move it. That's like the last little bit of like normalcy I had with him, and just cracking jokes with him. You guys see me with Junior. He got babied that way too when I got full custody of him. I took care of him. I raised him, man. I didn't. If you do your research, you look through my profiles and stuff. I don't have him in any colors. I don't have him in any throwing up gang signs. I just wasn't. I wasn't. I knew I didn't want that lifestyle for him. And it's crazy that he chose that route when he has a mom, he has a stepmom, he has a dad, he's got siblings, and opportunity, man. Like, how many people, honestly, do you know that have something that goes like this? You know what I mean? A restaurant owner, food truck owner, entrepreneur. Just try to show them to think like a boss. You know what I mean? And take control of your life, take control of your destiny, and just move forward, man. And I know it's a crazy place to grieve or talk, but I just want my side of the story to be told, because I don't want everyone thinking that I raised him that way, or I turned him out and was like, oh, you gotta be this, you got, like how some people do, like my uncles and all this other stuff, man. People who glorify it, because I did. I didn't take it home with me. I didn't take it to my nephews, my brothers, or anybody. And it's crazy, man. I appreciate the prayers, because this is something that's going to be, it's really affected my life, my stress, my well-being, my safety. It's really affected like the mental health. Like, I don't know if it's like a night. Like I said, it's like a nightmare. I can't like wake. Like, don't. I don't know. Like I sleep. I go to sleep for a little bit, and I'll wake up like an hour later. I'll go to sleep, wake up like 2 hours later. I'll go to sleep and get up, and but it took a lot of it took a lot. So I'm hoping that maybe he experiences what I experienced in the prison yard. I know he's not anything. The crazy thing is he's not. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. But I grew up in a really abusive unfortunate life as a kid. So I had to fight like at an early age, getting punched around when I was like 4 or 5 years old by my mother's husband, and let me know, just a lot of mental abuse, a lot of physical abuse, a lot of like, man, just getting busted up as a kid on up till, and, and it was just, it was, I was really enraged. I became really violent. Um, and that's, I don't know if I can get him a real lawyer. You know what I mean? I'm really struggling with the business. I'm really struggling with financial situations of, the DoorDash thing went live. We got like one person. We came into work and made, it's kind of embarrassing. We made like $27 on a Saturday night, bro. On a Saturday, $27. Now it's through DoorDash. But I gotta update my Google account too because it says that we're open from 9 to 5. So, but there's a lot of networking. I'm still not giving up. But yeah, I'm gonna go visit him and let him know. No sellies, no. Because people do get, they brag and they're, oh, I did this, I did that. The next thing you know, they're on their fucking witness list to testify against them, get their time knocked down. I mean, everybody knows how the system goes, and whoever been in there. But seen I seen his no, he doesn't have bail. He doesn't have bail for it. He has bail for the obstruction. It's like $500. I think he's gonna have his bail here in Monday, so I'm gonna check that out. I don't think he has any co-defendants, bro. I didn't see anybody else in there with. Yeah, that'd be fine too, man. No, no, that'd be super cool. I can definitely. It's roping Tuesday, um, but it should pick up, man. It's oh man, but it stresses as a dad that did everything for him. I know it's not my fault. It's not, I have no idea. It feels like it's my fault, and I feel really let down. I feel demolished, defeated. Like, I feel really disrespected because he went everything I fucking said he went against. Like, everything. Like, these people ain't your friends. These people, you known him for like 4 months, man. And this is, that I put on his Facebook, was like, hey, look, this is his yeah, yeah, but I don't know. He said he's in the hole, and he doesn't know the difference between shoe and fish tank. That's a fish tank he's in. And once he finds out what hood he's from, who he rolls with, and what other people he's going to be, kicking it with. He put him, he's mixed. He's Native American, uh, Mexican, and black. I don't know what. No, he doesn't know the difference between the fish tank and the hole. This is his real, like. Apparently he went to like a holding cell and got let out the next day. He was telling me it was a month, and saying all this. He was just making up like a lot of stories about being in jail and this happened. I was like, man, that's just county jail, man. You ain't gotta. But I didn't tell him nothing like that. I just shook my head. I was like, man, that's crazy. Man, I hope he learned not to be in there. And I was like, people fall off, people forget about you, and this is the type of stuff that I started realizing when you do time, and you don't do it alone. I was doing time. My grandmother was doing time with me before she passed away. My other grandmother was doing time. My mother, my brothers, my sisters, my nieces, my nephews, my cousins, my dad. all of them were doing time with me, and it affected them too. You know, my grandmother, when I call, she thinks of movies like American Me and Blood In, Blood Out, and just the way Hollywood makes it seem like that's like the normal thing. Like as soon as you get in there, somebody's gonna do something to you. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it does happen, but not like how Hollywood. I had to explain that to my grandmother while she was alive. Be like, hey, look, that's just movies. It's not. Plus, I know how to fight, and plus, people already knew I knew how to fight, and it was just it was crazy. So there's just a lot of stuff that he's gonna learn the hard way. Like when he gets in there, he's a little guy. He's like 175 pounds. He's like 5'4". He's just a little person, and it's crazy to think that he's in them yards with these dudes that been in there for a good 30, 40 years. And if he's gonna fly under that Sereno flag, why not use a crash test dummy? You know what I mean? Everybody knows like how the game goes. We watch it all the time on Flacco's channel, on Boxer's channel, just all these different things that people, they get used. And once you start realizing that these people don't care about you, man. They just fucking, you're so disposable, and life's cheap. And I appreciate you guys tapping in, man. And it's taken me a lot to hold back my tears and shit. Um, it's heartbreaking. I just need that breathing moment. I'm overwhelmed with the kids in the house, and walking past his room, and seeing his clothes, seeing his seeing his stuff. It's just it's crazy. But yeah, man, it's the thing is people, like I said, people are gonna be like, man, where were the parents at? Like I said, I was right here, man. You're my little buddy. We used to call him T2 because he looks like me. You know what I mean? He looked like me. He was a goofy kid. He was, really, really, like, I didn't even know he was shy until he was like about like 15. And I was like, man, go talk to that girl. Look, that girl wants to talk to you. And I was like, hey, come here. And he, oh, no, no, no. And I was like, what the hell, dude? Like, and I was like, what? It's like, he's like, I'm shy. I'm like, what the? I was like, damn. Oh, oh shit. All I'm asking is prayers, man. And allegedly he done these stuff, so I'll update a little bit more. Once I find out what's going on, maybe you can call me. I'll just gonna have to digest it, man. Just have to roll with the punches, man. Like always in life, man. I always gotta, face the grim reality. I have to face it sober. I have to face the brutal truth of, my son just rebelled and didn't respect anything that I said, man. Maybe he hates me. Maybe he hates the way, the way I turned, to change my life around, that I'm no longer that person. I mean, getting shot up, going away to prison, and all that stuff. It's not for me, man. And definitely didn't want it for him. I don't want it for any of my kids, any of your kids. I don't want it for anybody, man. It's a cancer on the community, and it's a cancer out here. Now I got to look over my shoulders again because I'm wide open. You know what I mean? I'm in the restaurant. I'm on social media. No, I don't want to live like that, man. And that's the hand he fucking forced me on. You know what I mean? And it's a grim reality, man. And it's a tragedy, dude. Just starting this channel, and I really, this was a journey of entrepreneurship. This is a journey of, sharing, you know, I wanted this business to be taken because I'm getting old, man, and I wanted this business taken over by my son, to be honest. I wanted him to have that opportunity of selling food and taking ownership, taking pride, just getting into it and just having that sense of ownership, of being a part of a world that needs to see more minority businesses. You know what I mean? That needs, especially Native American businesses. The world that needs all this stuff, and I don't know. He's. I still love him. Still gonna support him. Um, I don't know what else is gonna come out, but you know, he just maybe he was on that caca, or like I said, he has a lot of issues that he has to deal with, and I gotta. What's up there, JM? What's going on? And it's a sick reality that I have to deal with, man. I'm gonna have to get ready for that ride to the fucking prison yards to go see him. I have to get ready for, you know, when I get older, he's not gonna, be able to attend my funeral. He's not gonna be able to see his siblings grow up. Not he's not gonna be able to. I'm not gonna see no grandkids. You know what I mean? From him. Um, I got a daughter. She said maybe next year, her and her boyfriend, but she's like 26, and it's you expect a lot from your heir. Like everybody in here is a king of their own. You know what I mean? The king of your own castle, your house, your family. You're the one that everyone turns to for advice, for love, for respect, for guidance. So all the men in here know what I'm talking about. Like when you got the kids, that's a person who represents you. You're proud. You're so happy. You're like, man, I love that motherfucker. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, the signs were there, and I kept telling him to go. When I asked the counselor, was just like, man, how do you, how's he doing? What's he saying? Like, is he, is he actually talking to you? And she's like, oh, I can't tell you anything. And it's frustrating because I would take him to counseling, and he would go in there for like 45 minutes, come out, and he's like, yeah, I don't have to tell you anything that was said in there. I was like, that's cool, man. You don't have to. But are you really, because when he was younger, I took him to Scared Straight, and the guy from the people from Scared Straight called me, and they were like, man, this kid was just laughing at us. It was a big joke, and we put him in a cell, and he just it was somebody else, and he just laughed and was just, just took it as a big joke, and that shit's starting to come back to me, just like here, just remembering that. And if the story of this is, if anybody sees the warning signs, man, take a hold of it and get that person help. I mean, this kid has fought me forever. Like anything I said, he just went the complete opposite. He didn't finish school. Then he was like, "Oh, I'm going to become a cop. I'm going to become." Thank you, Sea Dog. He's like, "I'm going to become a cop after I get home from the Marines." And I was like, "Man," I was telling everybody my son's going to be a Marine. And then he just, I don't know, man. It's crazy. I did a lot. I spoke to him. There's some of you that I talked to on a personal level, and I did a lot, and I said a lot. You see how proud I am, and the news, if you see the videos in the news thing, how, I'm fucking having my arm around him in the news thing, making sure he gets seen. And, I wanted him to have that notoriety of being a prince, of being one of my heirs, of being a warrior of understanding of, taking care of a community, taking care of your family, taking pride in your family, and co-parenting. My son made it really hard on my fiance. You know, he really really made it hard, and it was there was a lot of jealousy. There was a lot of, because he's so used to just me and him, and that's how it's been for years. Is just me and him. Like when I was raising him, he tried to get close to some of the girls I was dating, but I was like, man, no, don't worry about it. I'm not feeling that girl. I don't want to make that type of commitment or even have a bond with you, to have that bond with anybody, because I'm not feeling it. But yeah, I got out and got him, man. I got full custody. I was so proud. He made me so proud, like to be a single dad. And when I didn't have a dad. He came into my life while I was in prison. He wrote a letter saying sorry. And do I forgive him? And I wrote him back, yeah, I do forgive you, man. And it's crazy. So now I gotta watch my back. I gotta find out who, like I said, I went and spoke to some of the people, but who knows how they're gonna feel. How they feel about what he did, because it was cowardly, man. Drive-bys aren't like any kind of gunplay. I mean, I don't respect it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I understand the culture, I understand the cause, and I even told him, I was like, man, that's a California thing, man. The California dudes don't even know who we are, especially Washington State or Colorado. And I was like, that's a whole different animal out there in California. They don't give a shit about us out of state, what we're doing to each other over fucking, you hear raps, it's just a lot of influence went to my son, and and it's crazy. I appreciate you guys, man, tapping in, let me vent. It's an unfortunate situation, and it's something that's got to be a part of the journey of what I'm going through. Unfortunately, you know what I mean. And I'm gonna stand by his side. Still gonna, I don't know if I can get him a lawyer. I don't know if I can. I don't even know if I want to get him a lawyer, to be honest. I mean, if somebody sits there and tell you, no, don't do that, no, don't do that, no, don't do that, and you're sitting there telling them fucking every single time I seen him, every single time we argued, I was like, man, those people don't give a shit about you. And he's known these people for 4 or 5 months and threw his life away over fucking probably looking for clout on Instagram, or a stupid little post like free. I don't know what name he goes by. That's gonna die too. People are gonna be, yeah, fuck them, because that's what they said about me when I went to prison. Fuck them. And that's exactly how I felt while I was in there too. Like, man, I don't want nothing to do with nobody when I get out. And sure enough, I didn't, man. I don't want to deal with nobody. Thank you, horse. Watch Dalo. Um, yeah, man. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, the hood don't love you, and they don't. And yeah, I'm not taking it out on myself too much. It's just, when you love somebody, you worry about them like all the time. And now I'm just like, fuck. Like these yards, you know what I mean? If everybody that's been there or even just watches these fucking channels, you know what I mean? It's anybody, man, it's just so, you can get so deep. After you get institutionalized, you get so deep and you just get so used to it. And like I said, by the time, all the kidnapping, the drive-by, the eluding, all this other stuff, I don't think I'm never gonna see him free again. I'm getting up there in age, and you know, and the little ones, yeah, I'm gonna be there. That's why I left for a little bit. I'm gonna play it off, and I don't know, just kick back, be alone for a little bit, and you know, and I got a buddy, this biker buddy. He told me to come by, and I think I am. I'm gonna go by, hang out, and just kick it, man. It's a nightmare. It's bad, bro. And it's not what I wanted for my kid, and I don't want it for anybody's. You know, I'm gonna set up a thing to go visit him, and just gonna have to let him know I love him, and you know, people make mistakes, and he just made a really bad one, and it's real fresh. Mixed emotions of really being really pissed, and just being really hurt, and ashamed, and love. It's fucking weird, bro. You know what I mean? It's like it's almost like when you break up with your partner, your girlfriend. You know, you feel that grief, and you feel that disgust, or if I don't know how, if you ever had somebody, that you cared about cheat on you. That's kind of almost like how the best way I can explain it is like is is I feel is how I feel right now, just disgusted, like, and love and hope. Like, man, I hope I get to see you again, and even though you treat me real bad and you don't listen to me, or it's like shit, and yeah, it's bad. I don't know. I mean, I wish I had like a better. Yeah, man, it is. And my dad, he was, I felt for him because he started crying, and he's like, God damn, he goes, that's how I felt when you got shot. He says, thank you, Tom. And then he's like, that's how I felt when you got shot. And when I called and I told them that you fucking called, and they told me that you passed away, and then and that you're no longer here. That's crazy, because they did tell, my friends in Pueblo, when they did call, like, hey, is he still there? And they're like, no, he's not here. He passed away. And it's a weird, and you know then when I came to and got out to you know I don't know if you see my video of me talking about it, but when I was coming out of surgery, I had that tube down my throat, and pulled it out, and told them, let me take me home, and they're like, hey, put that back in, that's helping you breathe, and like, okay. And then they had to put me back under and put the tube back down for me to breathe, and it came to again, and pulled it out, and they were pissed, and I was like, man, let me get up, let me go home, and but yeah, he was like, man, that's how I felt when you got shot. And my little brother, he got stabbed, and he uh, he passed away too, but he came back. He got somebody stabbed him in his heart. That's crazy, because I still got a bullet in my heart. They want to take it out, so. But, yeah, man, it's I don't know, just like I said, I'm trying not to take it, but like I said, it's raw. This is like, I just found out. What was it? Yesterday, I think I called Rich, and I was stopped off at the store where I usually get beer, and I was gonna go get loaded up and get loaded, but I just, like I said, I just grabbed a vape pen and took a cruise and cried for a while and just let it. 'Cause, man, still my baby boy, the way. It's crazy. No matter how old they get, they're still in your eyes. They're still your angel. They're still your pride and joy, man. And it's It's unfortunate, man. I hate it. It's I don't know. I guess that's all I really got to say about the whole thing. And if anything, man, if you take anything from this, man, like Machete said, it's just an ongoing like cancer, man, like a self-destructive fucking environment. You know what I mean? The people you hang with is has a lot to do with you, the way you act, because I have friends like that too, where I hang with, and you get in that mood where you're like, yeah, 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 let's go party, let's go put in some work, or this. I'm just speaking off my past, and then let's go do this. And then you got your player friends, like, man, let's go get some bitches, and you know, and then you feed, you got these people with certain energies that were, that's why, people who are moving in a good way, I communicate with like Rich DM. Like, he's moving, he has business insight that he gives me. I feed off of each and every person that I communicate with. Like, I jumped on Sea Dogs Live, hung out, talked for a long time. Just certain stuff I feed off of everybody. Like, everybody has their own point, like, has their own lane that I can feed or learn from, and I just want him to know that he's loved, he's cared for, and these people don't care, man. You might get a letter here and there, but over the years, you don't get no more letters, man. You don't get no more. That's one thing. When I was on Jen's live, so what's up there? Like when I was on Jen's live, I got used to being in prison. I got used to being in danger. And the only thing I never got used to was when they did mail call at shift change. So it was like about 5:30 to 6. You can hear everybody getting their mail, getting dropped on the ground, slid under the door, and I never got used to them not dropping any shit for me. Like, I was like, dang, I must not meant shit to nobody. You know what I mean? So it's but that type of abandonment really opened my eyes. It really opened my eyes to a lot of shit too. Where it was like, maybe it's good that they did that, because who knows, I would have still been active, probably still been locked up, and took a whole different path. You know what I mean? That type of abandonment fucking took me in a whole different area. You know. I just hope his path doesn't catch up to me or his siblings. It's a dangerous thought. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these crimes out here don't get solved. Like, a lot of them. It's like because they're under budgeted. They're not too many people that talk. And like I said, I'm just on here speaking my mind. I'm not ever gonna like say anything about his case, because I don't know nothing about it. And I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he did. He kept it so secretive. He made all these different Facebook accounts, Snapchats, and he even made an account to where he talks to himself online. And it's just, just certain signs. If you see him, man, try to get a hold of your sibling, your kid. But no matter what I did, I couldn't stop his destiny. That's what he felt, you know, that he needed to do. And it's crazy, man. I don't know if it's karma for all the bullshit I've done. If it is, it's really fucking hit me pretty bad. But it's still, like I said, I'm getting knocked down, but I'm getting back up, man. I'm slowly getting back up. Um, like I said, like all the other times, man, I'm a fighter. I get knocked down all the time, but I get back up, man. Hey, what's going on, man? Man, yeah, like I said, the prayers, they do help, and I hope, like I said, it's his first offense, and but he's got so many felonies, like really bad felonies too, man. So he's like Rich said, I just gotta talk to him and tell him don't talk to anybody. Don't, you know what I mean? I told him, man. You know, I should have used reverse psychology. Yeah, be like me. Do this, do that. You know, maybe he would be like, oh, fuck that. I'm going to school. Fuck him. You know, just as you guys know, I do love my son. I do care about him. And whatever he's going through, I'm just going to have to stick by him and let him know because, you know, I care about him, man. I care about, you know, my friend, he told me, he was like, man, you're just gonna have to, you know, you're just gonna have to cut him loose. And, you know, sometimes that's true. Maybe just let him, you know, sit there and think, not respond to his letters or, you know, go visit all the time. And, you know, but just every once in a while let him know, like, hey, we're doing okay. Would have been a lot better with him out here working with me at the restaurant or the food truck or, you know, working with me with a lot of other ventures instead of, you know, having to get in that car and go visit him in prison, man. And it's crazy, man. But yeah, I think I'm gonna reach out to Rascal and see what because he is really knowledgeable and he knows about the gang enhancements and see if Washington State has it, you know, and hopefully he gets a fair. Yeah, I'm gonna have to because nobody told me to take advantage of the opportunities in there. Actually, you know what? I lied. That there's a guy named Kickapoo that was in there, and he spoke to me about. He's like, "Yeah, I see you hanging around and doing all this gang stuff," and he's, "Let me tell you right now that uh, you're being real selfish because if these guys jump you and try to get you, I have no choice but to jump in and kill these guys because of they're trying to get you." And he goes, "I got kids on the streets. I got family on the streets, and you're involving me in a whole bunch of politics I don't even want to be a part of." He's like, "You really need to make up your choices." He's like, "You stop being so selfish and start realizing that it's not just you in these yards. If something happens, he's like, I have to come help you, and we all have to come help you because you're Native American. And if we just let people do that to you, then we're letting people think that they can do that to us." And that could really, he was like, you know, talking with him, he was like, "How many of them wrote to you?" No, he was like, "How many of them sent you money? How many of them went to go see your mom and hug her and tell her, how many of them hugged her and told her that you know everything's gonna be okay. Let me drop some money to help you out with the bills that your son used to pay. Let me help you out with you know, you got a kid out there that's born while you're in here. How many of them you went over there and held your son and told him it's gonna be okay?" And he's like, "Matter of fact, how many of them even wrote you a letter?" And that really, you know, he really spoke to me, bro, like on a real personal level that made a lot of sense at the time. And when you're young and active and you're, you know, full of fucking machismo and want to prove everybody that you're a badass. And it really, really calmed me down just to hear the way, Aquatic, what's going on? And he really spoke to me on that level. So when I went in there, I hardly knew how to read or write, but I knew how to count. And so went and got my education, went to college, did a couple college courses in there, business courses, drug and alcohol classes. Um, yeah, like you said, take advantage. Maybe maybe rolls with the natives too, and stays out, keeps his head clean. You know what I mean? But there's a grip of North Daniels in there too that are, you know, not so forgiving for the stuff he pulled. You know, and it's But yeah, totally. Tell them, yeah, I'm gonna have to tell them to take advantage of the classes there, and I'm just gonna have to stick by them and make some blood in, blood out jokes when I go visit them, or just let them know they're out of here, man, and I'm gonna support them. I'm gonna have to support them, and it's man, it's crazy, dude. I don't know. It's it's a tragedy, dude. It's because it's not just because whoever he was getting at and shooting at them, I mean, that's pretty tragic too. You know what I mean? It's not normal. I mean, it's normal in that world, but for somebody who's out here feeding the community, taking care of them, yeah, allegedly, sorry. Oh, fuck. Well, it's good to get away from my kids for a little bit. Like I said, I don't want to affect their moods because they're not dumb. Because even, they're just like, what's the matter? It's like, oh, I'm just going to sit back in the room and watch some TV. And, it's just like, well, I got to go out for a little bit, man. I was going to do it at the house, but I knew the kids were getting all crazy. And I don't want them knowing that he's even locked up right now. And, because Junior, he loves his older brother, man. So when he did run away and came back, he was like, oh, Andy, Andy, Andy. The fucked up thing is that he told Andy, he goes, I thought you were dead. And he's like, no, I'm not dead. And he's like, oh, well, I thought you were. And he was out there because he's my little side. Both of them were my little sidekicks, and he was just out there hanging out like all day, telling them about school and telling them about all this crazy stuff, man. But yeah, I think I'm gonna reach out to Rascal if he can look it over, if he's just knowledgeable of the California case laws out there. I think Sundown does legal work too, so maybe reach out to him because I have him on Instagram. And yeah, man, this is just. Whew. Uh, but I'm gonna go ahead and tap out, you guys. I gotta go. You guys take care and just man, it's